What's going on, guys? FadeitLuie here, bringing you guys a brand new video. We're gonna be doing a mid-fade comb over on my boy, so stay tuned. We started off by saturating the top and combing everything in place, making sure everything is nice and neat. Now that we're done combing down the hair, we're gonna start off with our gold FX and create our first guideline. We also gonna make sure we contour this guideline to his head shape so that the fade could flow better and it's more unique to his head shape. Now that we're done budding him out, we're gonna move on to our shave stick and apply it to his skin. This is so he doesn't bump up when we use the foil shaver. As you guys can see, I'm using the foil shaver to remove the stubble and also make the fade as clean as possible. Now that we're done removing the stubble with our foil shaver, we can move on to our no guard all the way open and create our second guideline. You also want to make this guideline around an inch thick so you can spread the blend. Since we're done setting in that guideline, we're then going to slightly close the lever midway and all the way close and attack that initial guideline. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline with our no guard all the way open and closed, we can then move on to our one guard all the way open and create our third guideline. As you guys can see, I'm using a comb to feed the hair into the clipper and I'm flicking out as much as possible. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to show some extra support, go ahead and leave a follow down below on the Instagram. Also, if you guys want some additional content, you can go ahead and subscribe to the membership down below. There's two different levels. There's an aspiring barber one and a tonsorial artist one. It depends which one you want. If you want additional content with the mentorship and partnership, you want the highest level. If you just want the partnership and mentorship, keep the lowest level. We're talking personal live streams with the client and me as well, a whole bunch of short content that nobody else will have access to, product reviews and tool setups, information on how to become a wealthy barber, and of course, life advice. Back to the tutorial, I'm finishing it off with my 3 guard all the way open and I'm debulking as much as possible near the ridge area. As you guys can see, I'm going with the grain with the 2 guard all the way open near the parietal ridge just to debulk. I'm also going to use the 2 guard to blend into the 3 guard all the way open. Here I'm softening up the line with the 2 guard all the way open and closed just to get ready for the 1.5 guard. Now that we're done softening up the line with the 2 guard and its lever, we could then move on to our 1.5 guard and try to remove it completely. Sometimes there's still a faint line after using your 1.5 guard, so switching over to your 1 guard all the way open would definitely help. Before we use our clipper oval comb method, I'm going to make sure that the hair is nice and saturated. Moving on to our clipper oval comb method, we're going to use our vertical cuts to make the blend, and we're going to use our horizontal cuts to beat bulk as much as possible. Here I'm detailing with my no guard all the way open, and I'm going to flick out as much as possible with the corners. Now that we're done detailing the sides, we can move on to the back and use our no guard all the way open. We are right underneath the occipital bone, so you want to make sure you spend more time here and detail as much as possible. Now that we're done setting in that guideline with our no guard all the way open, we can slightly close the lever midway and all the way close and attack that initial guideline. Don't be afraid to stretch the skin with your opposite hand. As you guys can see here, I'm pulling the skin with my thumb. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can then move on to our one guard all the way open and create our third guideline. As you guys can see, the hair is a little long, so I'm using my comb to feed the hair into the clipper. Remember, we're using the lever midway and all the way close to soften up this line. Get ready for the half guard. Now that we're done softening up the line with the one guard and its lever, we could then move on to the half guard and erase the line completely. Now that we're done with our lower guards, we're going to move on to our two guard all the way open and create the fourth guideline. Here we're definitely using the comb to feed the hair into the clipper and flicking out as much as possible because the hair is getting longer. The two guard all the way open will bridge the gap between the one guard all the way open and the three guard all the way open, especially when you're done using your 1.5 guard. Again, we're using the 1.5 guard to bridge the gap between the one guard all the way open and the three guard all the way open. Moving on to our clipper oval comb method, we're going to debulk the hair with our horizontal cuts and then continue to blend with our vertical cuts. Angling your clipper oval comb at certain angles will definitely create a perfect transition, especially when you're fading near the occipital bone and calic area. Here I'm using the half guard in the corners of the blade to detail as much as possible. Moving on from our clipper oval comb method, we're going to detail the occipital bone with our one guard all the way open. Again, don't be afraid to stretch the skin with your opposite hand, it's going to give you more room to blend. Moving on to our 3-guard all the way open, this is going to help us debulk and blend into our clipper of a comb. Now I'm going to continue to blend down with our previous guards, linking it all the way to the bottom. Now that we're done using our clipper over comb method, we can move on to the top and saturate the hair as much as possible. This is going to help us get the true length of the hair when using our shears. As you guys can see here, I'm grabbing the hair with the comb, feeding it into my fingers, and I'm holding it as tight as possible, cutting it with the shears. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to show some extra support, go ahead and leave a follow down below on the Instagram. Also, if you guys want some additional content, you can go ahead and subscribe to the membership down below. There's 2 different levels. There's a Aspire. It's always good to debulk with your shears. Stay as consistent as possible when using shears and grabbing pieces with the comb. As you guys can see here, I'm grabbing the hair with the comb, feeding it into my fingers, and I'm holding it as tight as possible, cutting it with the shears. Now that we're done cutting the hair on top, we can move on to our Turkish razor and Derby premium blades and make them as crispy as possible. But before we do that, we're going to apply some shave gel so that the blade can glide better. When using a razor, you always want to stretch the skin with your opposite hand as much as possible and keep it at a 45-degree angle. This always lowers the likelihood of you cutting someone. What's going on, guys? FadeitLuie here, bringing you guys a brand new video. We're going to be doing a mid-taper on my boy, so stay tuned. First, we're going to start off by saturating the hair and combing everything in place, making sure we have a nice and neat silhouette. Now that we're done combing everything in place and saturating the hair, we can then move on to the back taper and use our Go to Effects to create our first guideline. Now that we're done creating our first guideline, we can then create our second guideline using our no guard all the way open. You always want to make this guideline around 1 inch thick so you can spread the blend. Now that we're done setting in our guideline, we're then going to slightly close the lever midway and all the way closed and attack that initial guideline. Don't be afraid to stretch the skin with your opposite hand, it's going to give you more room to blend. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we could then move on to our 1 guard all the way open and create our third guideline. You also want to make this guideline around 1 inch thick so you can spread the blend. Also, don't forget we're going to use this same guard and its lever to soften up this line and get ready for the half guard. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to show some extra support, go ahead and follow on the Instagram down below. Now that we're done softening up the line with the 1 guard and its lever, we can then move on to the half guard and try to erase it completely. Now that we're done with our lower guards, we can move on to our 2 guard all the way open and create our 4th guideline. This is going to help us connect to the lower guards and also use our 1.5 guard. Now that we're done softening up the line with the 2 guard, we can move on to our 1.5 guard and try to erase the line completely. Sometimes there's still a faint line after using your 1.5 guard, so switching over to your 1 guard all the way open would definitely help. Now we're going to be moving on to our 3-yard all the way open, and this is going to help us blend into the top bulk, especially when you're using comb overs and pushbacks. We're also using our comb to feed the hair into the clipper and flicking out with our guard as much as possible. Now that we're done with the back taper, we could go ahead and move on to the sides and use our gold FX to create our first guideline. We're also going to go ahead and get our foil shavers ready to shave off the sideburns and remove the stubble as much as possible. Here we're detailing the back taper as much as possible before we line up the sides. Now we're moving on to the side taper, and we're going to create our second guideline using our no guard all the way open. We're then going to slightly close the lever midway and all the way close and attack that initial guideline. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we could then move on to our 1 guard all the way open and create our third guideline. Now that we're done setting in our other guideline, we could then move on to our clipper over comb method and debulk the sides. We're then going to use our 2 guard all the way open and our 3 guard all the way open to help us debulk and blend into the lower guards. Now that we're done detailing, we're then going to use our gold FX to line up the sides. I usually start off at the bottom and work my way to the top arch near the ear area. Now that we're done lining up the sides, we could go ahead and move on to our C cup and start off at the bottom using the corners of the blade and work our way to the top arch. You also want to make sure you're not pressing too hard, especially when you're using the corners of the blade, because you could bite them with the teeth of the trimmer. Moving out to the front line, we're going to use our gold FX to make them as crispy as possible. Also, we're going to use our comb to comb all the baby hairs down and debulk them with the one guard all the way open. When you're using your trimmers, you always want to make sure you go slow enough that the hair feeds into the teeth of the trimmer, because if not, then the hair is going to shift and then you won't line them up properly. Another recommendation I have is to use hairspray if the hair is shifting too much when you're lining them up. Hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to show some extra support, go ahead and follow the Instagram down below. We're also going to shave off all his facial hair on the sides and make his goatee as crispy as possible.